Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a communication technique that pretty much flips the script on how you share an idea. It's all about learning the art of saying less to get so much more. So let me ask you this. You ever been so fired up about an idea that you just keep talking? You lay out every single detail, you cover all the angles, and by the end of it, the person you're talking to just has that glazed over look. You literally watched their interest fade away. You talked them right out of a yes. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you've hit the number one communication mistake: information overload. See, we think giving someone more information is going to help them make a better decision. But you know what it usually leads to? Confusion, a feeling of pressure, and a quick, no thanks. We're going to call this common trap the 10-minute mistake. It's that well-meaning, super detailed presentation that feels like the right thing to do, but it almost always backfires. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the 10-minute mistake, right? It's just overwhelming, it feels high pressure, and it leaves people confused. But on the other side, you've got the 45-second way. This one sparks curiosity, it's all about simplicity, and it feels like a friendly invitation, not some pushy sales pitch. This is the shift we're going to dig into. So, what's the solution then? Well, it's this beautifully simple and honestly kind of counterintuitive technique that was popularized by an author named Don Fela. It's called the 45-second presentation. The whole idea is so simple. The point is not to convince somebody or teach them every little technical detail. Nope. Its one and its only job is to create curiosity, to make someone go, that's kind of interesting. Tell me more. And this quote, this is the entire philosophy right here. You're not trying to get an immediate decision. You're just trying to open the door to the next conversation. That simple shift changes the entire feeling of the conversation for you and for them. All the pressure just evaporates. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Well, it all comes down to a really practical, repeatable formula that, honestly, you can adopt for anything you're excited about. The structure is wonderfully simple. First, you just state the big picture, what you're doing in very broad strokes. Second, you mention a relatable problem, a pain point that lots of people have. Third, you present your solution as something simple and easy to get into. And finally, you wrap it up with an open, totally no-pressure question. That's it. No complicated jargon, no dense data. And the beautiful thing about this formula is just how flexible it is. I mean, look at these examples for a project called Oxcash NFT Pro. For a total beginner, the language is super simple, right? It's focusing on things they'd care about, like assets being in their own wallet. For a team leader, it gets a little more professional, mentioning a decentralized platform. And for a high-level leader, it's even tighter, using industry terms like P2P transactions to quickly connect with people who already get the lingo. Same formula, just a different dialect. And you have to remember, this 45-second pitch is just step one. It's the key that unlocks this simple flow. If they're curious, you send them some detailed info, a video, a document that they can check out on their own time. Then, maybe you schedule a quick call to answer any questions they have. The decision to move forward comes from them with zero pressure. Now, this is really important. Using this technique well and responsibly means you have to follow a few ground rules. This isn't about tricking people, it's about communicating clearly and ethically. Think of these as the 4 pillars of trust. Be transparent about what you know and what you don't. Never, and I mean ever, guarantee results or returns. Always respect someone's decision, even if it's no, and always promote responsible behavior, like never ever telling someone to use money they can't afford to risk. Let's make it super practical. Instead of saying you have to do this, you say, I'm just sharing some info for you to consider. Instead of pretending there's no risk, you say upfront, hey, all digital assets have risk. This isn't just about covering yourself, it's about building real long-term credibility. Of course, people are going to have tough questions. A short pitch like this might even make them a little skeptical. So what do you do when somebody hits you with a direct question like this one? The key is to just answer calmly and factually. Don't get defensive. You acknowledge the risk head on, stating that, yes, every digital asset has risk. Then you pivot to responsible principles, emphasizing that you should only use money you can afford to part with. You're not trying to dismiss their concern. You're showing them you've already thought about it responsibly. And here's another classic tough one. This is the kind of question that can really put you on your back foot. But again, the best response is calm, factual, and it puts the power back in their hands. You see the pattern here? You don't argue. You just state a verifiable technical fact, that it uses a transparent smart contract, that users hold their own assets. Then you hand the power right back to them, telling them they should study it for themselves. It shows total confidence without sounding defensive at all. So as we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out and really look at the strategic genius behind this whole less is more approach. Because it's not just about one single conversation. It's all about a powerful concept called duplication. For any idea or system to really grow, it has to be simple enough for other people to repeat it, easily and accurately. A super complex 10-minute expert presentation, no one can duplicate that. But a 45-second script? Hey, anyone can learn that. The relationship here is crystal clear. The more complicated your message is, the less likely it is to spread. That 10-minute pitch has almost zero duplication potential. It dies with the expert who gave it. But that simple 45-second pitch, it can fly through a network, a team, or a community, effortlessly. Its simplicity is its superpower. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. Short-term sales are almost always built on pressure. But long-term credibility, the stuff that really matters, that is built on transparency. This method is all about playing the long game, building trust one open door at a time. 45 seconds. That's all it can take to go from selling to inviting, from pressuring to empowering. It's such a small number, but it represents a huge shift in how you think and how you communicate. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your work, your projects, all this stuff you're passionate about, what doors are just waiting for you to open them if you were just willing to say a little bit less? Thanks for tuning in.